everyone, welcome back to the channel, Coding at Home. My name is Matthew Lonsdale, and today I have got the intro for Season 2 of the Survival Guide to a Survival Game. So let's jump straight into it and I'll show you what I've got. It's absolutely brilliant. I think it's one of the best systems that you'll get on the marketplace, or if you want it, if you're on my Patreon, I've got it on the Patreon for the tier 2s. If you do want to follow the full series, I will build it step by step and you can follow along and you can build it with me. Okay, so let me show you what we've got now. Hit the play button. So, inventory, which you've all seen if you've watched Series 1. If you haven't watched Series 1, go back and watch it. It is mint. Shows you how to get the fully dynamic inventory system, where all you have to do is add one component to your actor and choose your inventory and a slot, and that's it. Everything is done. Drag and drop system, everything. So, we have now got a crafting tab. And in our crafting tab, which is a widget switcher, we can switch to ours. This is items that are handcrafted. So I've got 4 categories so far. Well, I'll show you that in a second. So we've got the tooltip, which shows what you require. Red if you've not got it. And obviously we have nothing in our inventory. Let's go grab some stuff. So watermelons. Obviously this is just a pack that I've got for free, and this is a template. So obviously you would have your own items. Now showing 2 watermelons, we've gone green, shows the amount, that's shown in green. Right click, you can set the amount you want to craft, cancel out, right click, you can't go below 1. If I try to type, it'll put it to the maximum for me. And obviously craft, sets that red, adds the halves. I've now got 8 half watermelons. That's mint. Right, so let's tab out of there. Let's see. I've set these to 7 apples just so I don't have to pick them all up. Okay, more watermelons. Shows our craft. We can now craft a bag of apples. Now, clever bit about this as well. So I have got, let's swap some stuff around. I've got a stack of 10, a stack of 4, a 7, and another 7. And it will automatically, on craft, let's craft 2 bags of apples. This, for how much this will cost. This will cost 20 apples. And look at the state of the amounts in the slot. So let's craft 20 or 2 bags. Craft. It'll add the 2. And it rearranges the full inventory for you. And it didn't matter what size stacks there were. It'll do it. Everything. So, looking good so far. We have got the storage box, which you've seen. I've added a random loot system, which is changeable on and off, and you can set which loot you want, or you can have it random from a selection of the array items. And this is the crafting table, which is a storage box on its side. Obviously, if you have your own assets, you can use them. All you have to do in the construction script would be to set the static mesh, because this is all running off of one blueprint. That is the beauty of it. It's completely dynamic. So, this is a crafting table, which is, I've just copied and pasted the inventory. So that's all you'd have to do. Craft. And then obviously this would have the items in there. I will show you all the blueprints in just a second if you're all dying to see how it's done. What else have we got to show you? Storage box. Yes. So let's have a look at some blueprints. So all we have for widgets is we have our inventory, and all I've done is copied and pasted that and called it a crafting, and then that's done. You don't have to recode anything. And I've got 1 slot, and I've got a recipe crafting slot. So let's show you, let me think, what's the best way to show you? So we have a pickup master, which is essentially an item on the floor, and this, the dynamicy, is that a fucking word? I don't know, couldn't tell you. So this is the setup that you will have. Construction script, all the items, and you just add them to an enumeration, and you would, I've put it into categories, so food, health, Obviously you're going to have much more in your game, and all we do is we set it. And I think on some of them I've even put this in, so you haven't even got any typing to do. All you need to do is tell it the max stack, and if you want them all the same, even easier, set the weight and the amount that you would get. Write a description if you want, and that's it. That's all you need to do. And that's the same for all of them. Now then, so to add items, we are going to enumeration, item list, and you would just add the items, the crafting items, every item in the game. Just hit new and add it. I can do one now for you if you want. It would take seconds. Yes, we could do. So let's go new, and let's add a sword. Can I spell sword? So we can add a sword there. Hit save, and everything will need compiling. So if you don't touch anything and just hit play, it'll compile everything at the same time. Because if you compile things in different orders, you'll have to go and start refreshing stuff. Okay, so if you add an item, save it, hit play, and then it'll do it all fine. And now you can go to your pickup master, add the sword. It's as easy as duplicating a node, call that sword, connect it up, hit enter, use your icon. Is it usable, edible? Yes. Does it rot? No, unless you want it to get damaged. It's up to you. Does it stack? No. Max stack size, so we'll put that to 1. You could probably set up a boolean for that if you wanted to do something like that. Empty slot, no. And then you could write very sharp big knife. I don't know how to spell it. Knife. Wow. Okay. Hit save, and you could now simply either spawn this dynamically, put it in one of the loot boxes if you want. Blueprints. So we've got a BP Master pickup. Drag that in, and of course make it a sword. Obviously I haven't got any static meshes. This part would be here, so you'd set the static mesh that you wanted it to be. What have we got? I've got a food pack. I haven't got any swords in here. Let's have a lime. Hit compile, and that would be a lime or a sword. Right, mint. So that is the items so far to the save all here. What else have we got in here? This is meant right. So you'll have seen the inventory, crafting. So we've got a crafting component with its own functions. Some of it gets a little bit big in graphs. Obviously we've got the update the slots, the craft item, the add item. We've got some of them get a bit big, because I've got for a craft recipe up to 5 requirements. I don't know many games that have got more than that. So 5 different items and the amounts for them. I'll show you that in just a second. So you can set all them. What I'll do is I'll show you a recipe. Obviously this is not where you would fill it in, but this is what this would look like. I will move myself out the way to this side of the screen. Look at that, just zipped across. So you would want to set the name, which I've made an enum, so you don't even have to type that. Set the icon, the type that you crafted at. So can it be crafted by hand? Is it a crafting table? Do you craft it at the forge? Is it advanced, campfire, anvil? You can add as much as you want here. No extra code. All you need to do is add the components. You need an inventory and a crafting component. And then you would set the requirements. So you could say I need some wood. I would need 5 wood. I want stone, 2 stone. I need metal, and I need 10 metal. And let's say it's crafted by hand. Call it the sword. Give it a random icon. So that's what that would look like, for example. Now, I think I struggle to find a way to do that all in one place. So if we wanted to craft that by hand, we would want to be in the player. Now the player has its own crafting component, just like everything else, and he has the array, so you would add it here if you wanted it crafted by hand. So let's do that. So random picture, name, sword, hand, and we want stone, 5, requirements, metal, 10, and wood, 5. Alright, something like that. Hit compile. If you leave them at none, then you won't see them. So if I hit compile, save, play, hit I, craft, we've now got the sword with all the requirements for it. Alright, it's that simple to add. What else have we got? So, crafting table, you've seen the crafting work. Yes, so let me show you how easy it is to make a blueprint. So if you've watched series 1, that used to be the BP storage. Now that's just a master structure, so that can be anything now. So you'd basically drag it in, and over on this side you'd have your default. So do you want it to craft? Does it need an inventory? So is it anything? So if it's a foundation or a wall or a tree or whatever, you would just leave them boxes unticked. If you wanted it to have a component, you would tell it yes. Obviously you cannot have it cannot craft without an inventory, and same for the random. If you do try, you will get an error come up and it will tell you, error, you can't add random loot without an inventory. The solution would be, please tick the add inventory checkbox at the panel, and this fault is with the BP master structure 3. So it tells you exactly where, and I've made that last for ages so it doesn't just disappear after 2 seconds. So it tells us why something's not working, and that's because it needs an inventory, and the same goes for crafting. You cannot have a craft without an inventory. So let's see, crafting table, amount of slots, 7. Right, the widget, this would be the widget you choose. So I'll show you how easy it is to add a new widget. So if you come over here, I'll just copy and paste this one. This can be advanced crafting table. Okay, open that up. You can change anything you want in here. The only things that you need to keep would be the slots. So crafting slots and the inventory slots, and they are a wrap box, and that is a name and that is the variable. Anything else can be changed, moved around. So let's what we'll do is we'll move this maybe down here, just so we can see it's a different inventory. Okay, make that a little bit bigger. So we'll put this one down here, compile, save, and it's as easy as that. The slot type, obviously you want that to be a crafting. I have storage for storage slots, clothes, which we'll do on when we do on the player, if we want to do that. I've got NPC, so if you kill an NPC, it's got loot. Okay, so that's how you would do that. So we'll go with crafting. Now you'd add the recipes that you want it to have. You would do that here. Add its recipes, and obviously crafting table, you would type that there, and that's it, done. And that will just work. If you hit, let's add the let's add a recipe, random picture, let's add medkits, crafting table type, and we need apples, we need 5, and we need watermelons, and we need 5 of them. The reason I'm using them is because that's what I've got lying around on the ground here. Obviously you can add more. Crafting types done. Hit save all. Jump straight in. Press E. I have forgotten to do something. Did I not set the widget? I have not. So there's a problem there. Just I haven't set the new widget. Set that to advanced crafting table. And it's as easy as that. It's that good, honestly. This system is unreal, so versatile, so quick. You could throw 100 quid's worth of assets in here and you've got mist like that. honestly, it's unreal. Throw some NPCs in, you've got a full survival game, 10 minutes. And I'll show you this working as well. So crafting, medkit, we want apples and watermelons, which we have on the floor here. And obviously in the top right hand corner of the screen you can see that that little showing you the visual what you've just picked up. So we've got 4 watermelons, we need 5, and a couple of apples. So crafting table, press E. Now inventory, you can just drag and drop. If you want, hold Alt click, goes in for you. You don't even have to be looking at the slots, you can just drag onto here. So we want watermelons, no problem, drag in, another one, drag in, 2 more, drag in, and that has not updated. I will double check that, but if I close and open it up, it has updated. I'll double check that, that will be fixed before I release it. And then of course, same crafting tab, hit craft, and there it is. This is missing an update. So I will see to that. So don't worry, that will be fixed on the release. Or before I put it on the Patreon. I'll be putting it on the Patreon today. So I will fix that as soon as I get off this video. But as you can see how easy stuff is. How dynamic you can make this. The loot. Yes, the loot. Let's show you that. So if I jump out of here. In here. You can have random spawned loot is ticked. Now, the way I'm doing that, if I open up this blueprint, which is here, pick up item, I will show you the graph for it. That is a pickup item, not what I wanted. I wanted this one. So the graph in here, it's nothing crazy. All I've got is the add an inventory, add a component if you want the component, the amount of slots, the widget type, setting variables, the errors, nothing else major in here. So the way I've done this is I've got the enumeration, and what I've done is I've turned that into a set. So it's not a variable, it's not an array, it's a set, and then from there you can add what items you want to make an array out of, and then I'm getting a random point, and then I'm spawning an actor off the map, I'm getting its details, and then I'm basically calling pickup, and then I'm destroying it, and that is spawning loot into the box. No problems. So we hit compile, hit play, see what we get this time. We've got one more watermelon. And if you want, you can add, if you wanted it to be random and have sometimes more than one item, so easy to do, you would just run this more than once. So you can, you could put a, if spawn loot is true, you could put an integer, get a random integer in range of 0 to the maximum number of loots, and then you would use a for loop, use the maximum number as your end, and then just run this through a for loop, and then it'll add the items just like that. Alright, so that is so easy to add to this. Honestly, it's the BP player, all that has in here is a begin play, which is setting a variable to your player character. It is spawning the HUD, and it is asking, is there a crafting component valid? If it is, which it will be because you've added it, just call begin play on that. The reason I've used an initiate function or custom event is because if this runs before this, you get an error. So that's why I've ran this at the end and used a custom event rather than a begin play. And then all we've got here is the interface. No, it isn't. Sorry. This is just the Alt down, Shift down, I or Tab, and E to interact with stuff. What else is in here? And obviously I have used the interface. The reason we've had to use interfaces, I know some people are scared of them. I don't know why. They're fucking amazing. The reason we've got interfaces is so we didn't have to set the variables for the widgets. That's why it's so dynamic. So you can just make any widget and tell the component which one you want to use, and it'll just go, okay. It don't go, can't, unable to read, non-value, no reference, fucking meltdown, no problems. Just fucking tell it. And it does. Everything's done in the components. And it's going to be as simple as this to build a game. What I'm going to do to this is I'm going to add the building system in Season 3. And what I'll do is I'll start that. And I think the Patreons will probably see that before the YouTube. So if you do want to see that early and get this project today, get over to the Patreon, sign up. It's only like a £5 a month. It's dirt cheap. You'll get the package. I will be putting it on the marketplace as well, but when this is finished, and it's probably going to be about £100 when it's completely done, because it's going to be a full game template. So it's going to have everything complete. So grab it while it's early. While it's you can get in there, get it on the Patreon for next and out. Obviously I will be doing the tutorials for Series 2 starting tomorrow, when I run through how I've built everything, building off Season 1. So I do have still in my library here, so this, as you can see, is my survival template, and I've got the YouTuber here, which is where we left off, which is on the Patreon now. So you could either go back and watch that Series 1 and build it alongside with me, or you can grab the whole package from the Patreon and then continue where I'm going to start the crafting system. Okay, well, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.